Hello, this is Jacob Wood with IndieHangover.com, and this is Vidar, which should look familiar to you. We have already put out a couple of episodes of our Let's Play of Vidar, but we ran into a bit of an issue. There was a pretty serious bug that we encountered and kind of highlighted that has made that Let's Play inoperable. That bug is going to continue to affect the gameplay and probably break things. This bug has already been fixed. It was fixed by Dean, the creator of Vidar, in hotfix 0.7.64. So that's all taken care of. So we are starting again. Since you have already seen the opening of Vidar on our previous Let's Play and many other Let's Plays and streams out there currently, I thought that I'd take this opportunity to talk a little bit about early access. I didn't want to just skip over this first part. I wanted to show the entirety of the Let's Play, but I do it. I'm going to play through this first day quite quickly. There's about 7 minutes before we get to Eric's cave puzzle, and I'm going to talk about why I'm not discouraged by this. By the fact that in playing this game, I encountered a game-breaking bug, and that's because this is not a finished game. Early access is pretty prevalent these days. It is a trend that many people feel is abused, I think, is used too often. And I think in many cases that's true. I think there's many games that come along that are nowhere near the point they need to be considered for early access. I don't think Vidar is one of those. And here's particularly the reasons. That's what I'm going to talk about while we are waking up and making our way to the ice caves. The reason is because it's twofold. Vidar's a one-man team. Dean Razavi is making this game on his own, aside from some art assets. One-man indie teams do not have the budget for large-scale testing. Early access allows them to do this. And the bug we ran into is a perfect example of this. In the patch notes for hotfix 7.6.4, Dean mentions it's a rare bug. And under the right circumstances, Eric's puzzle triggers again. He had, in talking to him after I encountered this, he said it's something he'd never seen before. He'd never actually encountered in his own internal testing. But then, you know, once the game was opened up to press and streamers and YouTubers, it started popping up. I think it would be a mistake to fault Vidar for this. This is a game that is continuing to be developed, and most importantly, being supported with an incredible amount of quickness. Dean has been very responsive in addressing the bugs found by the community and by the streamers and YouTubers that are playing the game, and I think that's the most important thing. If these bugs were piling up and not being addressed, that would be a bad indication. That would be a problem. But they're not. They're being addressed quickly with a great amount of communication. I think that is honestly one of the most important things for any developer in early access. We've seen the other side of that. Early access games tend to fail when developers don't communicate. It's kind of like a two-way street. If you're bringing a game into early access, you are suddenly in command of a large number of people and in charge of a community that has access to your game and is going to find cracks, is going to find bugs, and it's your responsibility to communicate with them. It's their responsibility to understand that in buying a game in early access, they're not going to get something that's perfect. There are gonna be game-breaking bugs that come up. And as long as both sides understand that, I think that that's There's nothing wrong with the model of early access, particularly in terms of independent development. If we are talking about a larger company, a AAA studio, opening up a game to early access, I don't think that makes sense. If you're a studio able to pay for testing in some fashion, then you need to do it. If you can afford to have people testing and bug fixing and making sure the game runs well, then you need to do it well. But if it's going to be a monetary drain or simply a matter of people and the fact that you don't have the people, early access makes sense. There's a phrase that gets thrown around all over the place, kind of like an old saying: you never proof your own work. And this bug is a perfect example of that. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about the state of early access. I just wanted to take the opportunity where it has affected me now to address that potential concern and address that reality that is a fact of life for independent game developers. I really cannot stress enough how well I think Dean Razavi is doing in addressing all these issues that are coming up in early access or in pre-early access. He is very quick in getting out fixes, and I think that's the most important thing. So, moving into the ice cave now here. We're almost at Eric's puzzle. I just wanted to kind of touch on what the plan is. So we're going to do a full new playthrough of Vidar. I'll keep the other videos in the playlist at the end, just for posterity's sake. And I'm a little bit excited to try this again, because we're going to see a whole new set of people perish at the claws of the monster. So let's thank you for listening and enjoy. Okay, let's go see if we can save Eric this time. We're still in the same predicament. Cave collapsing. Okay, so let's get into position here. See how we do this time. I'm going to switch over to Eric. Well, we don't really have a choice there. So we have to bring the green. Back to Eric. He sets over to blue. Only way we can go is up. Goes down. Okay, so we need to, let's think this through, we need to switch red off and green on. And then blue off. So red off, green on, blue off. So now we can turn red and blue off. We're doing good this time. Oh, right. Shoot. The first one. Right. Back over this one. Come on, we can do it. And it broke. That's okay. Come on. We're gonna do it. I guess this is the end, stranger. Alas, we cannot save Eric. Ba-ba-bum. Alright, day 1 of Vidar playthrough, take 2 is over. Let's see who died. Irene, a patient at the hospital, has succumbed to disease. Okay, that's interesting. And Etel has died. Interesting. Alright, well, join us for this second playthrough of Vidar. Day 2 coming soon.